just when everyone was beginning to think Jonathan was innocent and that his white ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, lied on him, an audio just leaked of him literally confessing to strangling the poor girl to death, and things are not looking too good for him. He just started getting movie roles again, and Michael B. Jordan even came out and revealed that he would love to do a movie with him. I know Michael is sitting somewhere regretting ever speaking up for Jonathan, and don't even get me started on Meghan Good, who was parading herself around with him, claiming that he was innocent. She was even silly enough to get engaged to him. Any chance of Jonathan's career being revived is now buried, and he might even go to jail. This whole mess has been going on since March 2023, when Jonathan's ex-girlfriend Grace accused him of viciously attacking her after she tried to go through his phone. Apparently, she found out he was cheating on her, so she tried to go through his phone to gather receipts of the cheating, and that's when Jonathan attacked her. He allegedly smacked her and went on to strangle her with all the strength in his arm. Mind you, Jonathan is a very big guy, so the thought of him wrapping those big hands on Grace's tiny neck and squeezing is crazy. He could have easily ended her life, and in fact, it was reported that Grace had visible injuries, including a laceration behind her ear, redness, and marks to her face. And before y'all start calling her a liar in the comments, she attached photos of her neck, and it did in fact have visible signs of strangulation. She also had a nasty cut behind her ears that Jonathan caused. What's even crazier about the whole story is that just before Grace came out with her story, there were already allegations about Jonathan being physically violent, but no one believed it. The rumors were started by several people that he worked with, including the popular filmmaker A.B. Allen, who made this cryptic tweet just a month before accusing Jonathan of being violent to people on set. He tweeted, "There's a particular actor, relatively new on the scene, who Twitter has violently fallen head over heels for, who in actuality is a vicious, cruel human being, both professionally and in his personal life, and every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane." Following the allegations, someone reposted this tweet and said, "Now we know who this tweet was about," to which AB replied to and said, "Ding, ding, ding, ding." Another actor who worked with Jonathan during his Broadway days in NYC, Tim Nicolai, also put out a tweet right after Grace's accusations, calling Jonathan a known. He also tweeted at the time, "I'm just gonna say this about Jonathan Majors and be done with it. Folks at Yale and the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported." And y'all cannot believe the stunt Jonathan and his incompetent lawyer pulled after this so they could get a hold of the situation. Jonathan's lawyer released a series of text messages between Jonathan and Grace, where Grace was seemingly apologizing for calling the cops on him. The message read, "Please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me, and they knew we had a fight. I'm so angry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. Only just got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you." His lawyer was insinuating that Grace was apologizing for lying on him, but the real tea was she was scared of Jonathan, and she was only apologizing so he wouldn't put his hands on her again for calling the cops. But Jonathan, being the manipulating woman, tried to make it look like she was apologizing for lying when she was really just scared for her life. Soon as these allegations began going around, the industry turned their back on him and his career started to literally crumble. He was dropped by his talent manager, Entertainment 360, and his PR firm, The LOVEEE Company. That same day, he also got dropped from the movie The Man in My Basement and an ad campaign for the Texas Ranger Major League Baseball team, as well as the biopic for Otis Redding, which the producers were planning to cast him for. Fast forward to a few months later, he popped out with Meghan Good as his girlfriend, and at first, people thought it was just a PR relationship to make people like him again, but Meghan actually admitted that it was real, and even went as far as defending him. She said Jonathan was hesitant about her getting in a relationship with him because of everything that was going on, but she decided that it would be best to still stay with him despite him literally almost almost ending that white girl's life with his best hands.
I mean, he actually tried to encourage me to not be with him. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Did any friends advise you, like, he's in the middle of legal troubles, why don't you wait a beat? Why don't you wait to see how everything kind of shakes out?
Yeah, every friend advised me.
Yeah.
But get this, y'all. Jonathan tried to make it look like Grace was actually the violent one by filing a DV complaint against her right after his second hearing. She claimed that one time Grace got drunk and scratched, slapped, and grabbed his face, causing pain and bleeding. He also accused her of running up his credit card without his authorization, returning to her home in London with his iPhone, and stealing his Rolex vintage watch and other luxury items that cost $6,000 to $7,000. And this actually worked because the very next day, NYPD issued a probable cause investigation card for Jessica, which allowed them to arrest her on suspicion of third-degree assault. She was arrested, but after just one day, they released her, saying she lacked prosecutorial merit. Text messages between Jonathan and Grace were also read in court, and y'all cannot believe the ridiculous things this man was telling her. So apparently, after one of the many times when he put his hands on her, she went to the hospital to seek medical attention, but instead of Jonathan being concerned about her health, he was actually upset because he was afraid that the doctors might call the police if they suspected that the injuries are caused by an attack. He said in the messages, "I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you can actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something." In response, Grace said, "I will tell the doctor that I bumped my head. If I go, I'm gonna give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. Why would I tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you?" He was found guilty in court, but he was given no jail sentence. Instead, the judge ordered him to go attend a 52-week in-person domestic program. However, if he failed to finish the program, he would face a year in jail. Now, since this verdict, he has been trying to get his life together again, and he even ended up getting engaged to Meghan Good. Not only that, but the industry also gave him another chance. And I don't think I need to emphasize just how much of a surprise this is, because the industry never does that. In fact, for a moment, his career began to look up again, and he was even getting accolades for his performance in his new movie, Magazine Dreams. Things were going so well that Michael B. Jordan felt confident enough to come out and admit that he would love to do a movie with him again. Not only did he say he would love to do Creed 4 with Jonathan, but he said he would also be down to do other projects with him. But all that didn't last long, because right when everyone was getting comfortable with praising Jonathan again, Rolling Stone got a hold of an audio of him admitting to strangling Grace, and baby, just like that, his career is right back on the ground again.
I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. I mean, it's just, I've never wrestled with a woman. I aggressed you. Like,
you strangled me and pushed me against the car.
Yeah, all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's never happened to me. So I'm.
Because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly, it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly, that
something inside of you.
Yeah, towards you.
Now, some of y'all might have not heard him properly, so I'm gonna read you the transcript just in case you missed something. So it starts with Jonathan saying, "I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you." To which Grace replied, "You strangled me and pushed me against the car." Now, the reason this is such a big deal is because during his trial, he pleaded not guilty, but he was clearly lying, and now the people have evidence that he really did the crime. It's over for him. One person said, Michael B. Jordan waiting until the dust settled to publicly support Jonathan Majors just for that report to come out a week later? And what did we learn from this? Another person said, it should not have taken that audio for y'all to believe Jonathan Majors is an abuser. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Jonathan getting exposed? And do y'all think his career is really over this time? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.